So again, welcome to our first lab. I'm Mindy Hershey, your DGL instructor, and I'm glad to be here today with you guys to help you out with some good tips to get you started and on the right track as you begin your journey here at Full Sail. So one thing to make note of initially is that obviously the more time you spend in each class, the more successful you'll be because, of course, you're going to be more involved. You'll not be missing things like your instructor's posts and that kind of thing. The more that you log in and actually participate, and naturally, you're going to learn more by doing that. So you're expected to spend, 30 or more hours a week if you want kind of a gauge as to how much time you should be spending in this class to make sure that you don't miss anything, that you get all of the work done, that you do, further research and studying. Always go above and beyond, try to learn everything that you can. Remember, this is an investment in your future, so make the most out of it. In this course, obviously, we're breaking it down into 4 different topics. We're introducing the concepts of digital literacy this week, and then next week we will be delving heavily into digital research and utilizing things like research databases. In week 3, we will be covering elements of digital citizenship and talking about some really interesting things like digital security, digital law, all kinds of very interesting topics. And in week 4, we'll do a wrap up and a reflection of the things that we covered in the previous 3 weeks. So get ready because there's a lot of content that is going to be coming your way. So it's really important, again, that you stay actively involved with the course. So if you can log in every day, say like 5 days a week or so, that would be great. If you can't, then, make sure that you are checking everything when you log in and make sure that you're not missing anything and that you're adhering to what the deadlines are and you're keeping up with those deadlines. So uh, what I would recommend is at the beginning of the week when the materials open up on Monday, is that you come into the discussion board, or rather onto the dashboard, and you see what's due for the week. Once you know what's due for the week, plug that into your calendar tool or however you stay organized and make sure that you know what's due and when it's due. So for this week, you actually have, your activities 1 through 5, right? And then you always have your community discussion board. So we'll come back to the community board in just a moment, and you need to look into the professionalism information and scoring system as well. So at this time, 10% of each class is geared toward your GPS grade, your global professionalism score, and read that information to see why you might get a deduction. So the most common reasons in the online environment that I would have to take a deduction from your GPS score would be if you turn in an assignment late or don't submit one at all. Both of those things require me to take a 5% GPS deduction. So your GPS grade starts at 100%. Those of you who have gone in and read through the materials and checked that you completed the activity, I have gone in and scored that for you, and you have earned your 100%. So try to keep it there. That's the goal, right? That's really, an easy way to get to boost your grade 10%. So again, as long as you're adhering to the deadlines and doing what you're supposed to in the class, then you shouldn't have a deduction. But do look at the academic integrity PDF and this, this information, and make sure that you've checked or you've clicked, I've completed this activity when you're done with it. So every activity, if you see this button, I've completed this activity, you need to make sure that you click that. That's very important because if you don't click this button, it's going to show up on my dashboard as incomplete. So after the activity closes, it will show me that you didn't do it, and then I'm going to assign you a 0. So make sure you complete that click that button. Now, in the event that you forget, I'm telling you this now ahead of time, so you shouldn't forget. But if you do forget and you call my attention to it, you send me a message, I will go in and correct it. But that's not something that we want to make a habit of, right? You want to make sure that you're doing all the steps that you should to be successful. And it's not to say that a future instructor would make that adjustment, right? because that's part of the step that you need to do. Once you've done everything you need to do for that activity, always want to click that I've completed this activity, or again, that will show up as being incomplete on my dashboard. And then, I go in and assign you a 0. So we don't want that. Okay, so I don't recommend using this comments section for the forums, for the activities, if you have a question for me. The reason is I've got, there's so much going on in both of my classes with so many different, strings of posts and comments and things that I may not readily see it if you do that. And a lot of times I don't go in and check these forums until the assignment closes and I'm actually going in to grade it. So I try to see them, but it's not always possible with everything that's going on each day in the class. So what I would recommend is if you have a question for me, use the messaging system right here. So the little envelope on the top right side, that's what you want to click. So if you have a question for me, again, use this messaging system right here and just click new message here. And then of course you would choose, my name, and then type in your message and click send, and I'll be able to respond to you within 24 hours of receiving that message. So I do take, obviously, the messages in the order I receive them. So yes, it takes up. Remember, I've got a lot of students, a lot of grades, a lot of everything going on each week. So meetings, all kinds of things going on, up to 100 assignments that I have to grade every single week. So I'm very, very busy. So it will take me up to 24 hours. If I'm actually doing something and see a message pop up and I've gotten to all the others, I'll respond to it sooner. But do keep that in mind with your scheduling, that it will take me up to that amount of time to get a response to your question. So that being said, make sure you look at the materials early enough and look at everything that I've posted before you ask me a question, because like for all the major assignments, I give you a tutorial. I give you an actual video tutorial and I explain how to do the assignment step by step, every piece and part of it. So that being said, you want to watch that. You want to look at all the assignment instructions, look at all the assets, all the examples, materials, whatever's out there, and then come to me with whatever questions that you might have remaining if you have any. Also, of course, our live global sessions are a great time like this for you to ask questions. But again, you want to make sure that you've looked at everything beforehand because I've probably covered it in one of the video tutorials if it's related to one of your major assignments. But never hesitate to ask me a question. I'm here to help you guys out, of course. But I do want you to learn as much as you can, obviously, and utilize all the resources that I provide for you, so that you can get the most out of the course and that you can maximize your grade naturally. Okay, so there's no like tricks here. I explain everything, and even though it's April Fool's, right? I explain everything, and I want you to look at those resources so that you can, again, be successful in DGL and maximize your grade. All right, so remember that messaging thread. Anytime that you have a question for me, that's the best way to get the fastest response from me. And then announcements here. We've got this area under announcements. You need to check that every time you log into FSO. So you can see here are lots of announcements. Okay, so like this is the welcome letter, right, that I included on day one. So there's a lot of announcements. A few have, come up like this one. So definitely go under announcements and check that occasionally. So you'll see that, I've got some tips for you about some things, and I'm just welcoming you there. But check the announcements regularly. You'll see a little notification pop up on the top right-hand side when I post a new one. But if you happen to miss that notification, just go in manually like I just did under announcements, from the message thread here, right? Click on announcements, and then look at the different announcements so that you make sure you don't miss anything, because I will post various announcements related to the week's material or reminders or things to help you out as you progress through the class. So that's a very important part. Okay. So I'm going back to the dashboard, which is the main area where you find access to all of your activities, all of the assignment instructions, and naturally where you see when things are due, how much weight toward each portion of your grade that every assignment contains. And obviously, it's laid out in this way to help you with dividing it into each week. So we only open up the materials when the week opens up because we want you, of course, to focus on the week's materials and spend as much time as possible on that week's materials before, of course, you try to move ahead into something else. And time goes quickly, obviously. So remember that basically the layout of this week for 1.1 through 1.5 is, 1.1, you guys have obviously been in the 1.1 forum because you're attending my lab right now. So you understand how that works. When you've completed the labs and or watched the archives and or a global session live or archive, you want to make sure that you also remember that I've completed this activity, that you click that. So for my labs, I have an attendance form for you guys, and I've posted that on the community discussion board already. You'll want to bookmark it to make sure you have it handy for the rest of the term. And I'll bring that up right now for you too. Before I bring that up, has anybody been on Amazon.com today? Yes. Did you guys see the 1999 website? They took their website all the way back to what it looked like in 1999. Should be coming up here in a second. My connection's slow. Yeah, it's funny. And I thought, wow, you know what? I remember that because I've actually been using Amazon since then, believe it or not. So I'm a big Amazon fan. I order all kinds of stuff from them, and helps make my life a lot easier, Amazon. Of course, it's not coming up at all now. I don't know what's going on. Maybe they've had something occur now with their retro look. Or maybe they're doing another. I know they wouldn't do an April Fool's that would prevent us from being on the site, right? Let's see. Oh yeah, you worked at their warehouse. Must have been in California, right? Yeah, yeah. I love the Prime membership too. So here we go. Let's see if they've still got the old one up. They must be getting more traffic. I'll tell you what. That or it's my connection, but. Interesting. Okay, well, we'll come back to their little spoof in a second. Yes, that's right. Maybe they slowed it down to really give you that feel, of the 90s online experience. Exactly. So for this week, we have the 1.1 through 1.5 again. And for 1.1, you guys have probably all mostly attended, right? I know, except I'm actually getting my oil changed right now, so I've got a good connection. But if you guys attended a global session, that's good. You still have a chance to attend some live ones. I think there's probably one or two more going on this evening, and you can still attend a live one if it fits into your schedule. If not, then I have posted the archive on the community discussion board, so make sure that you watch that via archive if you didn't attend a live session for the global session. So you need to only attend one global each week. And then, of course, I hold 2 labs each week. So every Monday I'll post under the, each 1.1, 2.1, 3.1, and 4.1 respectively, what the lab schedule will be for that week. Usually I try to do my labs on Wednesday and Thursday, and they're usually on Wednesday and Thursday afternoon. So that's not set in stone, but that's typically if you're trying to plan a little bit when I do those. So again, um, maybe they broke something on their website with all that spoofing. Okay, so again, the attendance link for my labs is different than oh, there it is. Finally got it. So see how that looks. So I don't know if any of you guys remember this, but I remember this look, as I mentioned. So that's how Amazon was back then. One-click settings, shopping cart, your account, and that's about it. They had their little help desk and stuff. Pretty interesting, yeah. Yeah. Oh, you were only 3. Oh my goodness. So, yep. So fun April Fools from Amazon. So my attendance link, again, you'll want to bookmark this. So this is what you'll fill out for my labs. So we'll have 8 labs this month, right? Yes, you guys were probably too young to be on Amazon. Okay, so here's the link to my labs. I just put it in the chat box. And I'd recommend, again, that you bookmark this or add it to your Diigo so that you have it for each week when you attend my lab session. Now, if you can't make the lab, it's okay. Just watch the archive. I post the archives within 24 hours of the live session. So it takes me time to convert and process it and then upload it to YouTube. So again, it will be up to 24 hours before you actually see it on the community discussion board. But watch it at your earliest convenience once you see it there. Once you see the live lab and you are able to attend it via archive, that is, still fill out the attendance form. So that way I know. And for each lab, I do provide you with a special phrase or topic and to let me know that you actually watched it or attended it live. And today is April Fool's Day. That is our special phrase or topic for today that will show me that you actually attended today's lab. So everybody good on how that works with the attendance for, we'll go ahead. You know what? I'll go ahead and fill out the form with you. Okay, so if I fill it out, make sure your name is just like it appears in FSO. Fill in the special phrase or topic of the day. Provide a brief summary of what you learned, and then indicate whether you attended the live session or the archive. And then, of course, click submit and I'll get the form. So you'll see a confirmation screen that pops up. And once you see that confirmation screen, you'll know that I've received it. So there it is. Once you see this little screen here, you'll know that I did receive the form and you're good to go. But then remember at some point during the week to go back in and click that I've completed this activity under the 1.1 form, right? Or 2.1, 3.1, 4.1, right? Yes. Okay, so now remember that it's up to each instructor what they decide to do. As far as if they use an attendance form or especially as you progress through the program. So that's mine for me. Now for the global sessions, we have a global departmental link for the global sessions. Yeah, so that's different. So my labs, I have my attendance form. And then departmentally, we have one link that is shared for the entire department for the global sessions. So make sure that when you register for a global session, you will get a confirmation email. And there's a link to the materials page. You'll find the link to the global session under the materials page. You'll also be able to access that during the global session under the materials page. And hold on one second. So, let's see. So yes, so with the global sessions, again, you can find that link while you're in the global session under the materials link, under the materials tab. And as a matter of fact, I've got my link in today's too for attendance link for labs. And you can also find that link. The instructor that's holding the global session will put that in the chat box typically for you and or on the screen. So I recommend, you fill that form out right away when you're attending the session so that you don't forget to do it. But if you do, remember, you can go back to that email, your confirmation email, and click the materials link, and that will take you into the materials page to get you that link. Okay, so is everybody good on that for go-to sessions and for the attendance links and all that good stuff? All right. Excellent, excellent. Okay, good. And I will give you guys a chance to ask questions here. Anytime you can raise your hand if you'd like to talk. And if not, at the end, I'll ask you if you have questions too before we close out. And that's one thing I like about the labs is you have the ability, to ask me questions live. So there's no waiting time. Okay, bye, Amazon. I'll actually be glad tomorrow when they come back to the normal. I wonder if I click here, what would happen? Okay, it does take me to the regular site. I thought that. Okay, so there's the regular site. Okay. All right. Okay, so remember to check the community discussion board frequently because that, again, is where I'm going to be posting all of the archives throughout each week. So for this week, and if I give you additional tutorials, I'm posting them there too. So for this week, I've already posted, I have already posted 3 videos on the community discussion board. So this is just an example, obviously, of the community discussion board, but since I'm in a sandbox version. But you know what? I'm going to stop sharing my screen because I want to show you something with the real version. And I'm doing that because when I go in, it can like pop up with grades and things. So I'm going to pull up your actual class, one of my actual classes, and show you. Yes, so I archive both of my labs each week, and so you'll get three archives from the live sessions each week. The global, that may be my global that I give you, or it may be someone else's, and then you'll get the 2 labs as well from me. So you get those 3 archives, and then additionally, each week I post usually 2, but 1 or 2 videos that are instructional videos to help you with the assignments. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so if so bear with me for a second. I'm still going in here. Okay. So if I am in our community discussion board, so remember I have 2 classes. So this may be your class or it may be the other one that I'm teaching right now. Okay. So immediately when you pop into the community discussion board, the oldest messages pop up first. I don't know why that is. I wish the newest ones would pop up, but you can toggle it onto the newest ones. Does it do that for you too? Does it pop up with the oldest ones first from the student view? Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah. So what I recommend is each time you come on to the community discussion board that you toggle it like this to the newest first. That way you don't miss anything. So you'll notice here, today I posted earlier a tutorial to help you complete assignment 1.5. So you want to watch that naturally, and that's going to take you through the entire assignment and how to do it step by step. So if you watch that assignment, you will understand fully how to do assignment 1.5. So make sure you watch that. And if you follow all of my instructions, you'll do well on the assignment. So see, there's your secret recipe. Okay. And if we continue to scroll down here, so it's posting obviously, in the order of, so I don't recommend using this again for a question because you can see all the posts. So, if I accidentally overlook something, we don't want that. So what you want to do is you want to, again, use messages if you have an actual like assignment related question. Okay, so that's for assignment 1.5, right? We have 2 assignments that are due this week, 1.5 and 1.4. So there's also a video for 1.4, right? Which I posted on Monday. So, and there's the global archive. So here's the global archive, right? For week 1. And then here is the instructional video to help you out with assignment 1.4. Excuse me. So remember that tonight your initial post for 1.4 is due, right? So if you have not already watched this video on 1.4, You need to come in here and get this link and watch it to make sure you've included everything that you need to successfully complete the first part of the assignment. There's the link for you. Then remember that also in addition to, okay, so in addition to doing that, keep in mind too that that you have to reply to at least 3 students by Sunday. Okay, so both of those assignments actually close out Sunday, but your initial post for 1.4 is due this evening. Okay, so Juan is asking, is this going to be a regular thing that we'll have something due earlier than the rest of the week's things? Yes, your initial discussion post during weeks 1, 3, and 4 is due on Wednesday, because it's not a discussion if everybody waits to the last day, right, to post. Then it wouldn't be a discussion because you guys wouldn't be, yeah, having a conversation with one another. So the initial post is due Wednesday on week 1, 3, and 4. On week 2, it's a little different because you have a debate. So on week 2, it will either be due on Thursday or Monday for you. So, and that would mean Monday of the following week. So, but you'll be communicating on separate discussion boards in week 2 with everybody. But I don't want to really delve into that because that'd be confusing at this point. So just remember that most of the time in most of your classes, your initial discussion post will usually be due on Wednesday or Thursday, but usually most instructors make it Wednesday. And then naturally your replies, that means you keep going back in, right, during the week to see what your classmates have posted. And those replies then are going to be due by what day? When are the replies due? Quiz time. When are replies due? Sunday. Very good. Okay, by what time on Sunday? 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Absolutely. So always take into account the time zone difference for those who are living in different time zones, because the forum closes and you can't turn it in after it closes. So very important. And typically you cannot get an extension unless you have a valid documented excuse. I might make one exception for you in the month, but don't take it as like a guarantee, right? Make sure you get your assignments posted on time. You have all week to get them done. So you want to get it done. When you're done with it, be done with it. You know what I mean? If you're done with something early, go ahead and turn it in and have it off your plate for the week. Good, right? So yeah, remember you can adjust your time zone in FSO. If you have any technical difficulties at all, remember to reach out to FSO support. They are helping you up to like 2 a.m. every day. They're available. So they are a huge, huge resource and help for you as you progress through your program. So anytime you have any kind of technical issue, even if it's like a browser issue or anything at all, reach out to FSO support. If it's something you think that I need to be involved in because you had an issue where you couldn't get something submitted or something like that, then make sure that you have them forward me a copy of the ticket, or you forward me a copy of the ticket. Now, that doesn't necessarily excuse you from not turning in something on time, but it certainly will help me understand what's going on with the situation. But again, be proactive, plan ahead, make sure you know when everything's due, and make sure you schedule your time accordingly. So speaking of that, assignment 1 should take you around 10 hours to complete. So make sure you schedule that into your all your responsibilities in life that you have going on this week. Again, remember that you're supposed to spend around 30 or so hours each week. So spending 10 hours on assignment 1 is part of that. So if you only spend a couple hours on that assignment, you probably know that you weren't as thorough as you should have been, and your grade will more than likely reflect that. So very important to look at those tips and guidelines that we have for you. That gives you like a gauge of how long, the type of effort you should be putting into doing something. Okay. So again, your initial post is due this evening for 1.4. And your major assignment this week is due Sunday, which is 1.5. So each weekly major assignment, you've got 1.5, 2.5, 3.6, and 4.5. Those will all be due each Sunday by 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay, so everybody good with that? Okay. The other thing is that you guys need to make sure that you complete everything on the dashboard. So even if you see that it doesn't hold any weight towards your actual grade, it's part of the materials, part of the your participation grade, and part of what you need to complete to successfully get through DGL and to make sure you learn everything naturally. So you have to complete everything you see on the dashboard. And then remember, once you've completed it, you go in and you click, I've completed this activity. Good? Okay, good, good. Okay, so let's see here. Right. Okay. So if some of the, okay, so Chelsea's bringing up a good point. She says that the 1.4 post doesn't have that button, that I've completed this activity button. So that's okay. If you see an activity that doesn't have it, you don't have to worry about it. That means that you don't have to click it because you've, had to like upload something and like directly type in whatever. And that will suffice for that. So because then that will show up in my forum. So yeah, if it doesn't have it, that's fine. So if we go into 1.4 and here's make sure that so you just put your post, and if you're adding a link, you want to use this insert link. So if you're having like a link to your web 2.0, you'd do that. Type in the text, so you could say like my image if it's an image, for example, right? And then insert the URL. If you're uploading something directly in the discussion board, you can just drag and drop a file right here or do select file. Or if it's something like a YouTube, a Vimeo, a Vidler, Spotify, SoundCloud, Google Drive file, calendar, GoToTraining, Lynda, TED Talks, or other hosted file, you can put that third-party media link right here and then click insert. And then that will be embedded directly into the discussion board. Okay? Good? Okay, so next week is spring break. That's right. So the materials, I believe, I don't think the materials open up. That's up to the department, but I'm pretty sure they will not open up until you come back. But that will, yeah, I'm pretty well. Wait, let me think about that. Let me think here for a minute. Okay, Monday. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they won't. They may. Let me look at the dates on the dashboard and I can tell you. Okay, so also though, while I'm here in 1.4, make sure that if you were if this was a student and you were replying to them, for your replies, you just click right here under your reply and post your reply, right? So make sure you do that with at least 3 students, right? Yes, you get a spring break next week. Yeah. Okay. So for each assignment, we provide for you what's called a rubric. So you can see the rubric right here. And that is like a checklist to help you succeed with the assignments. Make sure you open up that rubric and you look at everything you need and then check it off as you add those things to your assignment. Good. And then, of course, you've got your FAQ for most common questions we found with the assignment. Hello? Hi, everybody. I don't know why it went to mute all of a sudden. Can everybody hear me now? Well, that's odd. It just all of a sudden muted me. Thank you. How long was I muted? Not long. Okay, good. 10 seconds. Oh my goodness. All right. Let's see. Okay. So thank you. I didn't even know. Okay. So yeah, that's odd. Well, I wasn't even over by that button. A go-to can do funny things sometimes. So who knows? Um, but what I had said, if you're watching the archive, you'll hear that naturally. But since we're on the live, I'll repeat what I just said. I had mentioned to make sure that you guys look at the rubric for each assignment, because that's your recipe to success. That's a checklist to show you everything that you need. And I base my grading off the rubric. So pay careful attention to that rubric. Yeah, it's like a cheat sheet without actually cheating. I prefer to call it a recipe. Um, and then let's see, we have an FAQ here for you for assignment 1.4 as well, for the most frequently asked questions that students have come up with, and we've, given you responses there to help you out. And naturally, the instructions. So also keep in mind that I posted the video, instructional video, to help you complete this assignment under the 1.4 forum, and posted the same one under the community discussion board. So do watch that. Even if you've completed the assignment, I recommend you watch it, because, or your initial post already, because, if there's something that you missed or whatever, it's going to help you make sure that you get everything and that you do it exactly like you should, since I'm the one grading your assignment, right? So you want to watch my videos. Good? Okay. All right. So that's good. So you'll have your two things due each week, which is your discussion forum and your major assignment. And again, both of those will close out Sunday. So that means that I start grading after the activities close. So that means when I get up and start working Monday morning, I'll see all of your assignments, and that's when I'll start grading them. So the way that grades work, as you know, the assignment will close out a minute before midnight. So Monday, when I start grading, I'll start working through your discussion posts first. So that will take me, I usually get through those by Tuesday afternoon. And then normally sometime Wednesday, I'll start grading your major assignment. And that'll take me 3 or 4 or 5 days to grade your major assignment. So you'll have all of your grades within a week, but you'll get your discussion grades first each week, and then I'll work on the major assignments from there. So you'll see those trickle in, as the week progresses. All right, so everybody good on that? And when I grade things? Okay, excellent. All right, that sounds good. So on that note, then, that's really all I needed to cover with you guys today, to make sure that you know how things are working and going on. And again, I wanted to stress the importance of the deadlines, and making sure that you come in frequently into the class so that you keep up with the materials, look at all my announcements, look at the community discussion board frequently, and make sure you toggle to that newest replies first so that you don't miss anything. And make sure you read everything that I post, so again, you don't miss anything. My goal is for you to succeed. So make sure that you stay on top of things. And again, if you do have a question, the best way is either the live lab, because you can get a response right away, or coming into the messages thread and doing the message there. Okay, this question, no, that's not silly. It began at 3 p.m. Yes, thank you, Amani. Eastern Standard Time. Okay, so on that note, we're actually done with the material. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to raise your hand or type in the chat box before we close out, and I'll address if you have any remaining questions. I know you guys have been asking them as we've been going along, so it's okay if you don't. These don't take. I always schedule up to 2 hours, but they never take that long. Yeah, I try not to, keep you that long. So, all right. So good stuff. Okay. Well, I don't see any hands up. Thank you. You guys are awesome too. Thank you. I appreciate that. And congratulations on your choice to further your education. It's one of the best decisions I ever made. It's a long journey, but it's well worth it. And it's one of the few things in life that can never be taken from you, right? Once you have that degree, once you have your education, it's yours forever. So again, congrats on that decision. Work hard, you guys. It's worth it. And I'm here for you if you need me. Have a great afternoon.